Oh, this wind bites. But this is an addition to the barbecue. In my case, I'm going to use it as a side firebox, which turns it into a smoker. You can use it as a standalone mini grill, almost like the old hibachi type style. But I'm using it as a smoker, but it still gives me the capability of an additional little mini barbecue. This is the model E22424. I'm kind of trying to block the wind somewhat, so hopefully it ain't too bad. Let's let this unbox real quick. Pretty straightforward and simple. This was on the barbecue. You take out the 6 bolts. I took the regular off the smoker and the barbecue, so now you see I have this completely open. Got the 6 screws in. You got 2 screws that go on down here that go right here. Damn wind. But this one, they didn't set it in right when they assembled this, so I actually have to drill this out. The bolt's not fitting through, and you got a spacer goes here. You can see over there, spacer, and I don't like that. The spacer isn't enough to really make this. I think I'm gonna have to add something in there. Oops. I think I'm gonna have to add something in there. I don't like the way it is. That's sitting in there like this. It needs to be lifted up just a little bit, so that spacer isn't going to work. It's going to pull it too close. So I am going to add some washers or something on here to push that out so it's not pulling so hard. And I'm really disappointed they don't have anything that should bolt to one of these holes here for your legs if you're going to use it like a regular old barbecue. And you need a support going from here down to the barbecue, because that's a lot of weight. That's 45 pounds this thing is sitting here. It's a lot of weight just sitting on his pulling it. That's kind of that is a design flaw. They didn't think that part out. You need a support on this down. So I'm probably going to, after the Super Bowl, I'm going to make, I think just out of flat stock would be enough to hold it. Angle it here, screw it in, bolt it, measure it out down to here, just to give this some support. That's, you look at it, it's hanging down like this. It's not level. You need something to lift that up, but I'll deal with it for a couple days, but I'm going to fix that. I don't like that at all. Just going to drill this hole out so this stupid screw can go through there. There it goes. Let's see, put this through there. The bolt in there, spacer. But again, in all actuality, that needs to be up like that. So these are short. I'm gonna put some more spacers. I'm gonna make this sit up right. What I'm gonna end up doing, I got some spacers for those. I'm going to take this back off so I can get them on first, then I'll put this back on. Okay. this is my solution, temporary. Putting these in, putting these square nuts on there, tighten that up, slide that spacer on there, put another nut on here. That's going to keep it out somewhat. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, put it back on, and that way it's got more support right here, because it was in too far pulling it. It's just not, that's not a good thing. So let's get the other bolts put on the other side. Put that in there. Alright, with those spacers secured, let's put this back on. Put these in. I'm going to try to get the supports put in. There we go. Okay, I got that to slide in. That's all we need, man. And now we're good to go. Put the rest of these in here. The only thing I wonder about, and I won't know until we actually get this thing fired up, is the gap between here, if there'll be any smoke coming out. I've read that some people have put a fire retardant gasket goes in here, and it says eliminates any possibility of smoke. So that's something we'll check out. We'll see how this goes. But for now, let's get this tightened up. Actually, that works pretty good. Much more solid than the other one. I like my little addition. It works better. This seems to be a pretty good seal around here. I don't think I have to worry about it. Little thing here hooked up. Air vent thing here. Go. Tighten that up. There. Well, at least now, after 5 days of damn wind, as you saw at the beginning of the video, it was terrible. We had it Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and into Tuesday. So I'm going to try to wrap this up now that you can actually hear me. And I've used the barbecue a few times, and there are a few things I'm having a little bit of issue with. I have contacted CHAR-GRILLER. First issue was the registration. You went to the website, you have this little card, and you're supposed to do your smartphone, scan the code, and it's supposed to take you to registration. It doesn't. Contact them, say, how am I supposed to register this if it doesn't give me the correct address? They came back, gave me another address, and you had to go in the menu, then you find registration and you register it. So they said it has changed. So the other thing, I actually contacted them about the design, and I don't like the way that this side fire box is mounted. It's drooping down. It's not level, it's drooping. And the fact that the handle on the barbecue you have to remove to put this on, and now you're using the side fire box as leverage, lifting it up when you're going to move it. I'm going to show you, it flexes. That's not good. Let me show you a few things that I don't like, or I'm having issue with, I should say. Inside of the barbecue, first thing is, you see this? That's all the grease. That's the drain hole. It's not sitting to a point where it's draining this way. It's all pooling here. Because of that, or it was sitting here, I moved it. Actually, in this seam underneath here, that's where the stupid grease is coming through. So right off the bat, this seam, on this side, this seam isn't even sealed properly. Not that it's going over in between these two, it's going down in between the seam here and dripping out. That's one issue. Second issue, with the lid closed, I get a lot of smoke coming out along this edge. And I know a lot of modifications out there, they put rope or something around this, so I have to look and see what I can do. I don't know if there's like a U-channel fire retardant sealer I can put on this, go around that, around this whole thing, so when this shuts, it will fill that gap between here and keep the smoke inborne. That's something I have to do. I'm surprised they don't have an additional kit you can buy that's already set up to do these modifications. That would be smart in my mind. Another thing I've been noticing, people putting a vent cover thing around this that brings it down so that the exhaust is closer to the grill itself, which I plan on doing also. And as you can see here, this temp probe is only maybe 2 inches. Look down in the thing below in the description. I'm going to have a link to I can't remember offhand right now, True Read or True View or something, thermometers I mean. It's $40, but it's a 6-inch probe. I'm going to put me one, or maybe two, but they're $40 a piece. So I might be one, and I may wait later to buy another. But I'm going to mount me a cup closer here to the grilling surface versus up here in the middle of nowhere. So that's definitely putting this on and give me a thermostat that's close to the grilling surface, or two modifications I'm going to do. Just a matter of trying to find something I can put here to keep the smoke from coming out between this, because I got a lot of smoke. Now with this side burner, first off, 2 holes that I took the original handle off to mount this. Now you have to use this, and if you watch, that's flexing. Now if you move this quite often enough time, that's going to take some wear on your side grill here. Now granted, it's not the thickest stuff. If this was thicker, it might be very sturdy and you could do this, but being this is kind of cheap and thin, not the heaviest duty material it can be made out of, there's got to be more support. That's why I added these on it, and that added a 1/4 inch, and I could probably add another 1/4 inch, so a total of 1/2 inch by the time I get this situated, because I don't know if you can see that. See, it's sloping down. It's not level. I'm gonna get a jack underneath here when I do my support addition. These are the holes that you would normally use to put your legs on, supports, whatever. If you're using this as a stand-alone barbecuer, you have little leg supports you mount right here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to probably get 1/4 inch or 3/8 solid stock, heat it because I got torches, and bend it, drill a hole, mount here, angle it down to probably, I'm thinking maybe 2 inches high on the leg. Drill a hole here, mount it on both sides. So I'm going to get 2 supports going from here up to here and push that up so it gives it much more stability. And that way this will be level. This will be level, and when I do lift it, it won't flex and move, and it's going to be much better. As you can see, 3 times I barbecued on this, and look how bad this has gotten already. Kind of a cheap paint job, so I have to go buy me some heat resistant paint on there. This lid, and I'm trying to contact CHAR-GRILL about, this thing does not fit on here for worth beans. I don't know if you can see that. I got so much gap here, huge gap here. This doesn't fit on here for shit right now. And when I'm smoking, this is just bellowing out here, and you know I'm losing a ton of heat out of this. That's not going there. So again, I don't know if I put some fire retardant seal around his when I shut it, if that will take care of it. So those are just a few of the things that I'm having an issue, a few of the things I'm going to change on it. So that's just kind of overview. You've seen how everything went together. Look at the links somewhere up here for the complete unpacking, assembly of the dual play barbecue itself. And we've seen how this came apart, unpacked, and mounted. And now you know some of the issues I've been dealing with. So anybody out there, if you have the same, and if you got a suggestion on where I can get what I need to seal it somehow without using silicone, I want to put some type of a gasket around the edges so when I sit down it seals it better. Let me know. But again, look in the description below. I'm going to have links to some of the things I know I'm going to get as far as the temp gauges, thermometers. And I'm going to get one that are 6-inch probe, so it gets a little bit further in there, so that's closer to where my meat's going to be, and that way I can control the heat a little bit better. That's just me. I'm kind of anal, but if you guys have a suggestion, if there's a difference between 2-inch, 4-inch, 6-inch probes, let me know. I think that's it, man. If you follow me, if you subscribe, I got a lot of things coming on. I got projects in the house, projects in the shop. This is me, man. I'm not specific. I do an array of everything, and I even will have some stuff put up. I'm gonna change out the manifold and carburetor on my truck. We do everything here. So be blessed. Get out there, take back your shack, get you a barbecue. Summer's coming. Time to get that party on, get the family together, because that is the main thing important, family. Follow me on Twitter, subscribe, like. I think that's it. Thanks again. See you next video.